In this video, I'm going to talk about adverse possession. So let me first briefly explain to you what adverse possession is about. Let's say we have a land owned by A, and then we have you. Adverse possession means that you adversely possess somebody else's land for a certain period of time to the effect that you own this person's land. So for how long do you have to possess this land? We have to look at Section 7 of the Limitation Ordinance. According to Section 7, subsection 1, if it is a land owned by the government, it has to be 60 years. According to subsection 2, if the land is owned by somebody else other than the government, if your possession starts before the 1st of July 1991, it has to be 20 years. If it is on or before the 1st of July 1991, it has to be 12 years. So when does time start to run? It is when the original owner has been dispossessed or has discontinued his possession, according to Section 8 of the Limitation Ordinance, and there has to be adverse possession, according to Section 13 of the Limitation Ordinance. Adverse possession means that the original owner has been dispossessed. So let me give you a visual illustration. So adverse possession means that you adversely possess somebody else's land, and at the same time the original owner, that is A here, will be dispossessed. So this is how it goes. So if you establish adverse possession, you can satisfy both sections 8 and 13 of the Limitation Ordinance. So how can we establish adverse possession? First, we need factual possession. This means exclusive possession. It does not have to be physical. A squatter can be in adverse possession through a licensee or a tenant. And according to Section 12, subsection 3, and Section 13, subsection 3b, a squatter collecting rent from the tenant will be deemed in adverse possession of the property. So this will be a scenario in which the owner has granted the lease, but then the squatter is the one collecting the rent. And if there are joint possessors, there has to be a single possession, exercised by or on behalf of them jointly. So this is it about factual possession. Then we also need intention to possess. Unequivocal acts, such as enclosure, may serve to show both requirements of factual possession and intention to possess. But then, if there involves equivocal acts or acts falling short of possession, intention to possess become important. So this may involve a case in which the squatter said that he or she intends to pay rent if the original owner demands so. As in the case of Montague, the court held that a squatter saying so does not prove intention to possess. But then, there are views suggesting that this case has been wrongly decided, because in the UK, the court has held that admission of title by the squatter is not inconsistent with the squatter being in possession in the meantime. So if you're interested in this area, you may compare the UK cases and Hong Kong cases. So after all, having established intention to possess as well as factual possession, you establish adverse possession. This possession is also proved, so time starts to run. So what is the effect of adverse possession after the designated period? The effect is the title of the leaseholder will be extinguished against the squatter according to Section 17 of the Limitation Ordinance. Note, it is the leaseholder, not the freeholder. This is consistent with Section 9 of the Limitation Ordinance. Section 9 subsection 1 tells us that concerning recovery of mutual interest in land, the right of action to recover will be deemed to have accrued on the date on which the interest fell into possession by the end of the preceding interest. This means that action of adverse possession against the freeholder will only start when the freeholder gets back his interest in the land. So this is it about the effect of adverse possession. So how can we postpone the limitation period? If you are the owner of the land, you may wish to postpone the limitation period. There are two scenarios in which the limitation period will be postponed. The first one is concerned with disability. The second one is concerned with fraud, concealment, or mistake. So you may have a look at these two provisions in depth if you want to know more about this area. So there are also ways to prevent time from running, or you can start time afresh. So the first way is to acknowledge or receive part payment from the squatter if you are the original owner. The second way is to effectively assert your title or your right over the land if you are the original owner. So this is all we have to know about adverse possession. Thanks for watching.